Welcome to another episode of Stack and Scale. I'm Brandon Redlinger, and today we got a solo episode. We got a solo episode because, of course, I'm doing a lot with AI. I'm building a lot, and when I talk to my friends and colleagues, this is the number one thing that they want to see. And what it is every time there's a new closed won opportunity, we actually take that account, we find all the lookalike accounts with specific parameters, then we actually look for the key personas that we're selling to within those accounts, build a full research dossier, and then it puts everything into a Google Doc, then that gets automatically dropped into Slack. All of this happens automatically. I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to actually make this Clay workbook into a template. I'll share it with you so that you can actually just copy it into your own instance of Clay and go ahead and use it. So what I'm actually going to do today, I'm going to walk you through it, but then I'm going to open up an entire new instance and show you how do I actually connect it to Google Docs? How do I actually connect it to Slack? And those are actually the only two integrations. It's pretty easy, but then also look at some of the AI that I built within Clay and then show you how to adjust it for your company. So that's what we're doing today. But just know that there's going to be a lot more amazing episodes with AI experts coming up. I've got a bunch recorded. I've got a bunch on the books. So those are going to come in the next few weeks. But also know that, again, I'm building a lot and I want to share a lot of the stuff that I'm building too. So with all that said, let's dive into this Clay workbook that I built. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Here, we're putting in the company that just closed one, and then we're finding all the lookalike companies, and then we're enriching the data. Then we're finding the key people at those companies, enriching those people, and then from there, at the end of this Clay table here, you're actually dropping it into that Google Doc, and then from there, it automatically gets slacked. So let's actually look at what that looks like. So I put in here, for an example, Carta. No reason, they were just top of mind. And then here, we're using the Ocean.io integration. And then here you can come in and adjust it however you need to. So for this company, this is my client, this is Avara. And I'm looking at, okay, we want to sell to people this size. This is our real bread and butter, keywords to match Carta specifically. And then I do not want e-commerce companies, mostly enterprise software and software, revenue range. You can adjust, you can adjust this, you can adjust any of these things as you can see here, but just want to walk you through this stuff real quick. And then I have auto update. So every time I just add a new row, all I do is put the new company that we just closed one right in here, then everything, all these other things run automatically. And okay, the other thing that you can do too is if you want, you could actually integrate this into your CRM. So if you add enrichment, HubSpot, you can see they have HubSpot integrations. We don't have that level of HubSpot, but you can do that pretty easily to actually even have that automatically done. So instead of manually going in here after every time I look at the deal channel and see we win a new deal, manually putting in the URL, have that done automatically. Now, the first time you build this, you could also batch do this too. So you could say, just pull a list of all the companies that you've closed won in the last whatever time period, and then import those companies right in and then have that run automatically. That's another way to get companies in that row here to then kick everything off. So that's what it's doing. It found 4 companies that fit my criteria that look like Carta. Again, no real reason. I just chose Carta because they were top of mind. And just know that there is a limitation here. Within the Clay integration, it goes up to 10. So it won't give you more than 10 lookalike companies. So just know that's a limitation with this specific Clay integration. And then what we're doing here is that it's actually writing all these 4 to a new table. And that new table is over here. So I just put this reference company so I know what company this company here is supposed to look like. And I'm pulling in all this information because it is enriching with the company data, company size, revenue, location, blah, 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 all of that. That's pretty standard. And of course, there's more that you can pull into, but these are the things that make most sense for Avara. And then what I want to do is I want to find the CROs at that company because that's really mainly who we're selling to. So what you'll see here is this is these are the parameters that I set. So I said, find me the CRO or head of sales, exclude things like advisor or member, assistant to talent. The other thing too, I was getting a few people that were like chief of staff to the CRO or something like that. Or executive assistant to the CRO. So that's why some of those exclusion titles are in there. And then, of course, this is referencing the, where is it? Companies. This is referencing the previous table that we just built, the company table that we just built. And then just for the sake of this exercise, I said only give me one per company. You can, like, if you are going after directors at the sales level, there might be 10 directors at a company. You don't have to limit it, but for me, just for this example, I was just limiting it to one. Okay, so after you get all of your people, it comes into this table here, and then I'm enriching these people here. So this is remote. This is the person, this is the LinkedIn profile. And then also just know that like you can pull in any of this other information that it is enriching, but this is the information that's most relevant to my client here, Avara. So we're pulling in the name, the person's title. This is the cleaned title, the normalized title, because some people will have like CRO and then parentheses CRO or CRO and vice president of global sales and blah, blah, blah. So I just want to clean that up, normalize that a bit. And then here's the location, the LinkedIn profile. Okay, and then here's where some of the AI stuff comes in. So we're looking at top competitors. I'm using Claygent. And then Claygent, I'm using the GPT-5 Nano model. And I'm asking it, hey, find me 3 of the top competitors to, in this case, remote. After that, I'm looking at company highlights. So this is just recent news, recent interesting things that my reps look for to start to reach out and make some connections on their cold outreach. So it's, okay, look at all of the recent press or they were in the news, or if there were any recent key hires. We're also looking at recent new capabilities that they've announced, that sort of thing. So all of this is going to be in the template, obviously, so you don't have to copy and paste any of this. This will be all ready to go. But if you want to add anything to this, feel free to just go in and add to it, obviously. So that one's called Company Highlights. Then the next one is Crunchbase URL. Pretty simple, just using Claygent again. Clay doesn't have a direct integration with Crunchbase anymore. Simple workaround is just use Claygent to scrape the URL, and then the rep can actually just go visit it themselves. And then latest funding round. And that's just doing a single lookup field, so I can pull in some data from the company table into here so that I can do some other things. So this one, I'm looking at the team size, the sales team size. I want just the people within sales. How big is the sales team specifically? So it's a pretty simple one. The next one is a revenue team open roles. Again, this is really important for Avara. This might not be interesting to you, but if you want to do something similar or find open headcount within engineering roles or whatever, you can set something like this. It's pretty simple, but here we're getting into some of the fun things that we're doing. So 10-word company description and making it sound like the first sentence you would send in a cold email. So pretty simple, pretty easy, but then here are a value prop. So what I'm having to do is visit the Avara site and understand our offerings. And I also put it down below here too. I'll show you that in just a sec. But I'm saying, hey, look at the person, look at the title, look at the company name, and then look at some of the research that you just did, and then match it to one of the key use cases and value props for Avara, which I put here. Of course, you go in here, you make those your own key value props and use cases. And then anywhere where it says Avara, obviously go replace it with your company name. And then it'll create a 2 to 3 sentence snippet that sounds like something that you could put into a cold outreach email that's relevant to the company that you're researching. And then that's just the output here, relevant case studies. And then the next one is, okay, look at all the relevant case studies, which I did a quick reference here for the AI to use. And I said, okay, based on everything that you know about the company that we just did, find the most relevant case study and then give me a little snippet that I can use as well. So it's taking all of that, it's putting it into a Google Doc. I'm calling it dossier, whatever you want to call it. That's always the word I've used, but putting it into this Google Doc here, and it's everything that you would need to know when you are doing some outreach and research on this new company. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Actually, that might just be more helpful here. Now, this is actually markup language here. So if you don't know markup, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward and standard. But if you don't know it, just open up ChatGPT and ask it to help you format a doc for markup. But this is what it looks like. So the formatting, not the most visually appealing formatting, but this does the job really well. So this says it's the dossier for John Kelly, CRO at this company called Remote. So it has the LinkedIn link, all the company info, the link there, everything that we need to know. And then their top 3 competitors, recent news, Crunchbase, and then here are those snippets that we created for outreach that the sales rep can use. Now, all of this is then integrated right into Slack. So now it puts it into this Slack channel here, and then you can jump over here, and this is actually what that looks like. And you can just obviously click it here. It pops it right open. So the reps are ready to go. And if you are doing, territories based off of geo, you could create some run conditions. If location is these locations, then drop it into this channel, things like that. Or if the industry is this industry, drop it into this other channel. So you can create run conditions based off of that. But for this example, all I have is all of them get dropped right into this Slack channel automatically. Okay. So as promised, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over to the workbook here. I'm going to share as template. I'm going to take this template. I'm going to link it down below. And then let's actually just go to one of my other clients and let's just set everything up. So create workbook using this template. All right, let's go through all of these things step by step so you can get up and running. And it's actually pretty quick. We can do this in under 5 minutes, and you can get it up and running with this under 5 minutes yourself. So the Lookalike company, there's nothing, again, that we need to do here, except just go ahead and add the URL. But before that, let's go look at just to make sure everything else is set up properly. These are all of the proper columns. Yep, looks like everything's working well. And again, if there's any other columns that you want to add, feel free to add it. But these are the ones that I'm using. Okay, and then companies. So there's this little caution here: required input. And what we need to do here, it's actually pretty easy. It's all we do is hit / company underscore table ID. We're going to hit that. Then we're going to go here again, company underscore record ID. Boom. Simple as that. Let's say, it doesn't matter if we hit save and run, but now that goes away and that'll automatically pull that in from this table over here. And let's see what other ones, scrolled past Crunchbase URL. Okay, interesting. This one should be just fine. Okay, I don't see anything wrong here. So let's just hit this real quick. And it's thinking, let's see if it comes back with an error here. Oh, no. Okay, so that one's good. That's what I thought. That one should be good. And then all of these others should be good as well. Create a dossier. Looks like actually this one should be fine as well. Oh, duh, it's not fine because we don't have a Google account hooked up. So all we're going to do is hit add account. It's going to OAuth us right in. All we do is hit that, hit accept. We'll give it a quick name. Play example dossier. Okay, so now Google Docs is set up. Now the next one is Slack. Same thing here. All we need to do is sign in with Slack, sign in with Slack, and then now Slack is connected. And then you can, of course, put whatever you want here if you also want to add in the, so if we go back to here, this is what it looks like. This is the actual text, the message that's dropped from Clay into Slack. So we can put whatever we want here. So if we want to also add industry, or if I can type, right? Industry, boom. Or we want to add location. Again, you can add anything that you want there. Hit save, let's run. Let's just make sure that is working right. Now that is all working, and you should be good to go. Now, I'm not going to burn credits for this this client of mine by testing it out, but that is all there is to it. So again, I'm going to link this workbook for you down below so that all you have to do is click the link, click create workbook using this template, and go ahead, make any adjustments to any of those columns, and add anything else that you might want to add. Some other cool things that you could do too is add a lead into an outreach sequence automatically and have it automatically kick it off. So what you would do there is go back to the people table here after this, or you can add or remove these, whatever you want to do, but you would just go to add enrichment. You would add smart lead. I've done this one before. And then you would just add to campaign. And then you can use the, you can use these, the data that you pulled from the AI and use them as snippets or as custom variables within your email. So this like 10-word company one here where it says, or actually here, let's go back to this example here where we're looking at what is that the output of that 10-word company. Hey, I noticed that company is on a mission too, or is focused on empowering the entire investment lifecycle. So that's a good probably intro to a cold outreach. And then your second sentence can be another snippet that you built here. Relevant case studies, you can also say that too. So BetterWorks used Avara to get these results. That would be a nice little snippet that you can put into, maybe it's the second email, maybe it's the third email, but of course, building out that sequence within Smart Lead or whatever your platform of choice is, and then stringing a lot of these together, because as we went over in the, or as we mentioned in the episode with Justin Norris, decomposing the steps and having a specific AI for each individual task is going to be a lot better than saying, hey, AI, write this entire email. It's, hey, AI, write the snippet about the intro. A separate AI saying, write the snippet about the case study, or write the snippet about the value prop that directly relates to the company. And then you're pulling it all together with either another AI or into a template like this. Anyway, those are some other options. I hope you play around with this. Let me know if that was helpful. Let me know if you want to see some of the other Clay workbooks and Clay tables that I've built. Happy to share those as well. But that is it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.